What's going on, guys? This is Restless Corpse, and I am excited as fuck for today's 365 games video. Alright guys, this is day 29 of the 365 games, and day 29 I'm playing a game that I've been waiting for fucking ever. I actually woke up early and sat there and waited for it to finally be able to be installed on Steam. This is Shadowrun Returns. I've been a giant Shadowrun fan since I was like 15, playing the pen and paper games, playing the Genesis and Super Nintendo versions as well. And when I heard this game was going to be released, I watched a bunch of dev videos and things like that, and I was really super excited about it. I remember it was, I could have swore it was supposed to come out in June, and I was really excited about it. And then when I went to the Steam page and they said that it was July 25th. Well, it came out today, and I've been playing it for a couple hours, and this game is pretty fantastic. It seems to take after the SNES version. It's actually got some updated like soundtracks, which is pretty cool. I even, listening to them can place where in the Super Nintendo Shadowrun games those songs were from. You actually even get to meet and do a run with Jake Armitage, the main character from the Super Nintendo version. And what's funny is the way you even meet him is funny. If any of you have ever played the SNES version, it opens with Jake pushing himself out of a morgue slab and falling onto the ground, and that's how you meet him in the game. You open the morgue slab and he just kind of rolls out and starts talking to you. It's a great nod to the old game. He looks exactly the same in his character picture, just better graphics and whatnot. And it's so far really cool. It plays when you're not in combat. It kind of plays like a Fallout game, the old ones like Fallout 2. When you're in combat, it plays a lot like XCOM, Enemy Unknown, and both of those games are fantastic games. So I couldn't be more excited that those two gameplay types are melded, I guess you could say. This video isn't too far into the game. I'm trying not to give too much away, but there's dialogue choices like an RPG element, and there's the turn-based strategy style of XCOM, which XCOM was a great game, and Fallout 2 was a great game. As a matter of fact, Fallout 1 and 2 were great. I even liked Fallout Tactics, but I digress. The experience system is just like playing a tabletop game. You get karma for things, and you use karma on your skill trees, and skill trees are just like playing. It seems to pattern itself after 3rd edition, which, to be honest, is my favorite edition of Shadowrun. It's the most polished of the old style setting and everything, and I remember when 4th edition came out, they completely modernized the setting. Changed a couple things, got rid of the jargon and stuff like that, and that's great and everything, but what made me love Shadowrun so much was 2nd and 3rd edition. So I'm really glad that this game seems to be in the 3rd edition vein. They do have a lot of, they say words like Drek and stuff like that, so that's pretty cool. Watching, or listening, not necessarily listening, but reading the dialogue, because it's not voice acted, and there doesn't seem to be cutscenes so far. It really gives me that sense of nostalgia from when I used to play Shadowrun games with my friends in school, or playing the games on the Super Nintendo and the Genesis. Let's be honest, the Genesis game was really where it's at. If you remember the SNES game, it was Shadowrun in name and setting, but there really wasn't a whole lot of actual pen and paper mechanics in the game. So I'm glad that they changed that. I don't mind them taking after the Super Nintendo version, because it had a better story. than the SNES version. The SNES version just had better mechanics. The SNES version was like playing a tabletop game. So in this game, you get to make your character. I made an elf decker. Anytime I play Shadowrun, I'm generally a decker, though the race, varies depending on just what I feel like at the time. But I'm playing an elf decker named Paradox. Paradox is the name that I use when I play Shadowrun online, which maybe sometime I'll get into that. It's a MUD. It's multi-user dungeon for those that don't know what a MUD is, and I used to play it pretty regularly. Now I just kind of log in every once in a while to talk to some of the people that I used to play with. But in that, my character's name was Paradox, and he was an elf street samurai. But because I love decking and I love the concept of the decker, I decided to go ahead and make a decker for this. So far, I haven't gotten into any real decking. I've been able to hack like door systems and computers and things like that, but and that was one of my early gripes with the game, was that decking was simplistic. But it turns out that if you get a run that's a decker run, you actually can go into the Matrix. It's not in this video, but before I stopped playing to make the video, I actually started on the black market. I bought a new deck and I bought a bunch of utilities and stuff, which they just call programs in this, but it's the same stuff. So I'm pretty excited about getting a decking run. I'd like to go into the Matrix and have like Matrix combat and stuff like that. I really want to see what it's like. I'm going to be doing maybe a review in a separate video a little bit after. I want to play the game a little bit more. And I might even do a let's play. I mean, the game is fun. There's a lot of optional stuff so far. So a let's play might actually be really fun with this. Now, what I noticed sticking around on the main menu just before I stopped is there's user-generated content already, and I think that might just be stuff that the devs made, for the release, because the game's only been out almost 3 hours at this point. So it looks really cool. It looks like there's going to be user-generated content that you can actually, maybe play with your friends. Who knows? It might be co-op. There might be a way to actually play Shadowrun through the game, which I think would be really cool. And there's an editor, which I didn't dick around with yet, but I will be dicking around with in a little bit, or maybe later. I mean, I have to work today, but and it looks like you can make Shadowrun campaigns, which I think is absolutely amazing, and I'm really excited about it. In any case, this was Shadowrun Returns. I am so glad this game is out now. I'm going to be playing a lot of it. And this was day 29 of 365 games. I'm Restless Corpse. If you like this, if you like the video, go ahead and rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.